It's the 25th of October and yes, it's a Sunday, and behind me is the setup for episode 10 from video games and consoles, and you can see that from next Saturday onwards. Well, it's Sunday and it's time for more video games and consoles from the loft. Well, welcome to part 6, and I hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope it's about to get better, as today I have several items to show you from the collection. One's an item which is directly from the line of Nintendo Game & Watch, and I have several other items in the form of wristwatches, and they both are from Nintendo as well, and they are exactly what I'm going to start off with, and that's these Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. 3 and Tetris wristwatches. Well, Nintendo were founded in around 1889 and obviously weren't producing video games but producing playing cards which were fairly successful. Now during the 60s Nintendo ventured into other lines of sales, from a TV channel to even food to a taxi cab fare company, which were all rather unsuccessful. And it wasn't until the 70s when Nintendo really got a grip on their company and ventured into gaming, and in Japan they released their first games console, the Color TV game, in 1977, and I'll put a link up on the bottom of the screen because Gamester81 has one of these and you can check out a review on that. Now in the early 80s they released the line of game and watches, and then they released the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was truly awesome and really amazing and brought to the rest of the world, making Nintendo a global success. And in the late 80s and early 90s they released these wristwatches. Well, that's the background info. Let's take a closer look. Well, here we go, and here's Tetris for a start. Obviously it's in its original packaging, which is pretty cool. Super Mario Bros. Isn't, but that not to worry. And on the back of this it advertises The Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Bros. 3, and there are a few others that you can pick yourself up, but obviously I've got Super Mario Bros. 3, but I'm looking for Zelda at the moment. Well, here they are. They're both in excellent condition and are absolutely identical in length, size, shape, just apart from the gameplay, which of course is different. Well, if we have a closer look at Tetris, you can see you don't get as many building blocks as you do in a normal version of Tetris, but they've done a really good job of this game nonetheless. On the right hand side you have your mode button for selecting from the time to the game, and on the left you have your set button to select the time, and obviously your cursors left, right, up and down to move the blocks right to left and change them into different positions. And Super Mario Bros. 3 is much the same, with the mode and set buttons from selecting the time, the gameplay and a demo button, and the set button on the left for selecting the time and alarm. And obviously you have your cursors for moving Mario left, right, up and down during the gameplay. Well, let's head to the gameplay right now. Well, we're starting off with Super Mario Bros. 3, and you have to jump over your enemies and watch out for the dragon who's firing at you with his flames. Collect the power button and warp through the warp pipe. Pick up the raccoon suit, jump over the notes and make your way to Bowser, and hopefully defeat him and rescue Princess Peach like I did there. Haha, my first time I've completed a game while filming. Excellent. Well, let's move to Tetris now, and obviously Tetris is a massive classic and everyone should have played it, and if you haven't, well, you've got to check it out. And obviously I showed you before that the screen isn't as wide as a normal game of Tetris, but it still doesn't affect the gameplay, and it's still really easy to play, and the controls are really good and just nice and simple, and an addictive game to pass the time away when you're travelling or just haven't got a few spare minutes, especially as it's on your wrist. Well, these are both really cool retro items, and I remember in school one of my friends having the Super Mario Bros. 3 wristwatch, and I was extremely jealous, and I always wanted one. Although I wouldn't go wearing one today, I think they deserve a place in everyone's gaming collection, and I just think they're extremely good, and the gameplay isn't bad considering it's on the size of a wristwatch screen. Well, from two great wristwatches to another, let's look at this one, and this is Nintendo's Game & Watch series, and this is Donkey Kong Hockey in mint condition. Well, for my second piece of Nintendo info, we need to head back to 1980, which is when Nintendo released their first Game & Watch, and that game was Ball, and that was just one of the games out of 60 that Nintendo released in the Game & Watch series between the dates of 1980 and 1991. Now, there are many different shapes and sizes to these games, and also different series of them as well, from panorama screens to tabletop versions to super colour and micro versus systems and many other. Well, this is one of the micro system games, and this is Donkey Kong Hockey, and about 3 months ago I managed to pick this up in mint condition, brand new, out of an old batch of stock. Well, Donkey Kong Hockey, here we come. Let's take a closer look. Well, let's get this open. I've been looking forward to doing this all day, and obviously on the box it tells you all about the game. There's the model number on the side, and on the back it shows the game opened up and in play mode, and it says made in Japan. This is in mint condition. This is actually just like, it's like being factory sealed and stored away somewhere, goodness knows where, but I'm really glad that I've got this item, and let's get it out of the plastic cover and have a closer look. Now, this item has probably just come out of hiding, so there might be a few more around for you to grab as well, and as you can see there's the instruction manual. It says 1984, and this is in absolutely superb pristine condition, and it has a caution card as well regarding in the batteries. Well, here's the game itself, that nice big screen, and you're seeing some gameplay that it really is excellent. On the right hand side there you've got Game A and Game B and time. Obviously Game A is for one player and Game B is for two players. Set your time, alarm, and your ACL button to reset the scores. On the back there you'll see that it says made in Japan, and obviously it has the model number and says that it was made in 1984. Well, I've opened up the back of the game now, and it's still really tough to open as it's absolutely brand new. I've taken out controller 2 there, and you can see you can pull the cord out of the controller itself. On the controller you've got the left, right, up and down on your cursors, and your hit button during the gameplay of hockey, and you can reel in your wire back after you've finished, which is just superb, and you can store it away. And in the back there you'll need to fit 2 LR44 batteries as shown. Let's look at some gameplay. Well, just before we start, let's look at the screen itself. You've got Mario on the right and Donkey Kong on the left. You have your referee who can move anywhere on the screen, and your crazy spots which move up and down and can send the ball flying anywhere in any direction. And you have your scores on the top and your goals on the left and the right there. Well, this is such a fun game, and the movement and the gameplay is just superb. With 2 players it's absolutely crazy, but against the computer it's just as fun. Mario versus Donkey Kong, what more could you ask for? The puck can move backwards and forwards, when obviously, as I said before, when it hits those crazy spots, can be sent just about anywhere, confusing your opponent and yourself for sure. And the referee can be hit as well, making it even more crazier. The object of the game is when the puck has gone into the goal, you'll score 1 point. It's the first to 10 points. If Mario wins, which is you, if you're a one-player game, you'll play another game. But if Donkey Kong wins, it will be game over. But this game is just truly superb. Well, out of all of Nintendo's Game & Watch series, I do believe that the micro versus systems are up there with the best, as they provide great gameplay. They're perfect for 2 players. They're extremely compact, really good looking, and have that large, great big screen for excellent visual gameplay. And also there are 2 more in the series of micro versus systems, and I'll be on the lookout for those. And in fact, over the next year I'm making it my mission to collect as many as possible. Now I have 10 already, and I've still got 50 to go. well, wish me luck on that. Well, if you'd like to own any of the items today, and especially the wristwatches, then I'm sure you're looking at anything from 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds for these, same in US dollars. And for the Micro Versus system, well, as I said before, I picked this out brand new out of an old stock batch, and I've seen one on eBay just lately for about £60 at a buy it now price. But I'm sure if you hunt around, there might be some other sites, you might be able to pick it up a bit cheaper from about 30, 40, 50 pounds, who knows, and the same in US dollars. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed today. It's been a blast for me. I love Nintendo items and it's great to review them, and I really hope you've enjoyed them too. Stay tuned for more videos coming up in the next week, and once again, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.